It is illegal to advertise cigarettes on television. Has been since 1965. But on Saturday, there will be an advert broadcast for cigarettes, electronic cigarettes. Will it break the law? Adrian Everett is the chief executive of the electronic cigarettes behind it, E-Lights. He joins us from Birmingham, and we're joined from Westminster by Alison Stewart-Allen, who's managing director of International Marketing Partners and knows a thing or two about branding. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Very good morning.
Adrian Everett, if we see this advert, what's it going to show us?
It's an intelligent depiction of a family scene whereby the father leaves the room to have a cigarette. During this time that he is absent, his child takes his first steps and, to much amusement and bewilderment, also breaks into a bit of a dance. As he re-enters the room to see a lot of shocked faces, he asks the question, "What have I missed?" Obviously what we're trying to invoke is the thought process that by not just leaving the room to go for a cigarette, but the use of tobacco, prolonged use of tobacco, can in fact shorten your life.
Right. Now, you don't actually show the electronic cigarette, and I think all you show actually is your logo, but your logo really does look like a cigarette packet.
Yes, we've been very diligent with our discussions with Clearcast to ensure that in no way do we breach any Clearcast regulations and nor any ASA regulations. So as the leaders of this category in the UK, it's our responsibility to ensure that the product, and not just E-Lights as a brand, is correctly portrayed in the public eye.
Alison Stewart-Allen, are you convinced that they're not going to be breaking the regulations?
Well, I think they're treading a very fine line. Certainly the Advertising Standards Authority will no doubt raise this as a point to review. But new technologies always test the limits, whether it's an e-cigarette, whether it's an online social medium. We always find that disruptive new things in the market like this cause people to have to look again at the rules and question whether the rules are appropriate in the modern times.
And the ASA can't actually look at it, and you've got to air the ad before they can see if it breaks the rules. But it's interesting, the rules, they are much broader than one might think. It's, as I understand it, any non-tobacco products must not include a design, colour, imagery, logo, style or the like that might be associated in the audience's mind with a tobacco product. And that's what you could fall foul of, surely, Adrian Everett.
We don't think so. I mean, I would say it's important at this stage to clarify what smoking actually is. And by legal definition, that is the consumption of lit tobacco, combusted tobacco. Of course, with E-Lights and electronic cigarettes in general, there is no tobacco.
It's quite interesting, this, because it does contain nicotine, doesn't it?
Of course, as does a potato, or indeed the highly marketed nicotine replacement therapies. But the dose...
Is E-Light, is the point of E-Lights to get people to stop smoking, or is it just to replace cigarettes with something else that, has certain products in it?
It's very important that we clarify that, so I'm glad you asked. E-Lights are, of course, not a cessation device. They are a harm-reducing alternative to traditional tobacco cigarettes. We understand that with traditional NRTs, nicotine replacement therapies, within 6 months, over 94% of people have failed in their cessation process. And within 20 months, over 98% of people have failed. So what E-Lights offer is a harm-reducing alternative, which bridges that gap.
Alison Stewart-Allen, whatever this advert says about E-Lights and electronic cigarettes, it does seem to be sending a fairly powerful message that leaving the room to go and have a cigarette, as many people do, is not necessarily a good thing.
That is exactly the positioning that E-Lights is taking to try to encourage smokers to recognise that there's some benefit to E-Lights, which is that you can smoke and stay in the room.
I'm wondering if the ASA, as a result, will look more kindly on it.
I'm not so sure. I think the ASA will be confused, and it will certainly test their framework and their guidelines to say, well, this isn't exactly smoking because it isn't combustible tobacco. But on the other hand, it certainly looks like it. The logo looks like it. Everything about the ad and the way it's targeted and marketed to people does appear to be just like
your
cigarettes.
money would be on it not running that long.
It is, that's right.
Alison Stewart-Allen and Adrian Everett, thank you both very much.